So the topic of today's sermon is role model. This current period of time is a very sad time for a lot of Thai people because the king of Thailand recently passed away a couple of days ago. And you can see the pain and sadness in many people in Thailand and many people all over the world. Just yesterday I saw a clip of the king's car or something where they transported his body from the hospital back to the temple. And it was amazing. They closed off all the streets, and the queen was in the first car and the king was in one of the other cars, and there was a monk in the front, and everywhere you looked you saw like hundreds, thousands, millions of Thai people on the side of the street, and you know how hot it is, just sitting there with their heads bowed on the floor, like waiting. I read that they waited since the night before just so that they could see his body, see the car holding his body drive by. And it makes you wonder, why? Like, why do people love him so much? Why do people feel so sad now that he's gone? Like, why? And you could say it's just because he was the king, but if you look at other countries, people don't respect their kings this much. People don't love their presidents or prime ministers this much. Why? It was because he was the ultimate role model. Not only did he sacrifice every single day so that his people could have a better life, not only did he not, spend money frivolously, travel a lot, and have all this fun in his life, he worked hard every day. But the one thing that he did that I think that was one of the most supreme things was that he lived what he taught. He taught the Thai people to live simply and within your means. And I saw another article about him where his house was, he's very wealthy, very rich, but the house that he lived in was smaller than most other rich people all over the world. The clothes that he wore were simple, the things that he used were simple. He had a whole bunch of land on his property, but on his property he didn't use it for himself. It was all for testing out different farming techniques so he could teach his people. It was for different things that he used for the benefit of his people. But for himself, he lived in just a simple, regular-sized house. Another thing that came out in the news that was very interesting to me was his shoes. For a man that wealthy and that powerful, he could have as many shoes as he wants. Just think about some of the people that we know, or ourselves, how many pairs of shoes do we have? Yet for him, he kept sending the same shoes to get fixed over and over and over again, never wanting to get a new pair of shoes, using it to its maximum. Not only that, we read about how with a roll of toothpaste, he would use it until it was completely empty. They said it was like a piece of paper. It was so empty that he kept using it. And these are the kind of things that, as a father, as a king, as a teacher, you can tell people what you want them to do. You can tell people to do it. But if you don't do it yourself, your words don't have the same amount of weight. You don't receive the same amount of respect. But when you do it yourself, when you live it, when you show it, you don't even have to say it. People will watch you and see you, and they'll follow your example. And I think that these are some of the most powerful qualities of our king. And this is why, at first I didn't understand. But after more and more study, I think I'm starting to understand better why the Thai people loved him so much. It's because he deserved it. And I think that that's one of the things that we can take away as a lesson, is that if you want to be loved, if you want to be respected, make sure that you deserve it. Don't just ask for the respect or demand the respect. Make sure that you actually deserve it by being a good role model, by sacrificing yourself to do the right thing, not just what you want, but what is supposed to be done. And I think that we should take the king's example in our everyday lives, because that's the best way that we can show our respect to him now that he has passed away.